Jack Morrison was walking home from his shift at the auto repair shop when he saw the woman struggling with her wheelchair in the rain-dotted 29. Jack had built a modest life as a mechanic. He worked hard, lived simply, and found genuine satisfaction in fixing things. His co-workers joked that he couldn't walk past something broken without trying to fix it. Through the downpour, Jack saw a woman in a wheelchair trying desperately to move forward. One wheel seemed stuck, spinning uselessly while she pushed harder with the other side. Going in circles, she was getting soaked, clearly frustrated, and completely alone. Jack didn't hesitate. He ran over, kneeling beside the wheelchair. "Hey, I think your wheel is jammed. Mind if I take a look?" The woman looked at him with surprise and wariness. "I don't have money to pay you. The wheelchair service won't come until tomorrow, and I'm trying to get home. I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking if I can fix your chair so you're not stuck in the rain." Jack examined the wheel mechanism. "Looks like something got caught in the brake system." He pulled out his multi-tool, working quickly to dislodge the jam. Within minutes, he'd freed the mechanism and tested both wheels. "Try it now." The woman pushed both wheels, and the chair moved smoothly. Relief flooded her expression. "It works. Thank you so much. Are you sure I can't pay you something?" "I'm sure. I fix things. It's what I do." Jack smiled. "I'm Jack. By the way, Jack Morrison, Claire Winters." "Thank you, Jack Morrison." Most people would have just walked past. Then most people are missing out on the good part of being human. Monday morning, Jack arrived at Morrison Auto Repair, where he'd worked for 5 years. The owner, Mr. Henderson, had called an emergency meeting. Standing next to him was a woman in a wheelchair, wearing a professional suit. Jack's stomach dropped. It was Claire. "Everyone, meet Claire Winters," Mr. Henderson announced. "She's the new regional manager for Henderson Auto Group, overseeing all 15 locations. She'll be evaluating operations and deciding which shops stay open and which need restructuring." Claire's eyes scanned the employees and stopped on Jack. Recognition dawned, followed by something unreadable. After the meeting, Claire called Jack to the office privately. "You're the mechanic who fixed my wheelchair. You didn't know who I was." "No, ma'am. I just saw someone who needed help. You could have walked past. It was pouring rain. You were off work, and I was a stranger." Claire's voice was intense. "Why did you stop?" "Because you needed help, and I could provide it. I've been in this wheelchair for 2 years after a car accident. People either treat me like I'm made of glass or like I'm invisible. You treated me like a person with a fixable problem. You didn't ask invasive questions, didn't make it a big production, just fixed the chair. Do you understand how rare that is? I was just being decent." "Exactly. And now I'm your boss, here to evaluate this shop." Claire met his eyes. "What happened in the rain doesn't affect my evaluation. I won't show favoritism. But I won't pretend we didn't meet. Can we be professional despite the awkward circumstances?" "Yes, ma'am." Over 2 weeks, Claire observed meticulously. She watched Jack work, noting his efficiency, his patient customer explanations, how he trained newer mechanics. She saw customers specifically request him. She noticed how he stayed late to help a struggling single mother, charging only for parts. "Why didn't you charge her for labor?" Claire asked. "Because she needed her car fixed more than I needed an extra $100. Her kids depend on that car. Sometimes doing what actually helps matters more than optimal profit margins. That's not good business practice. Maybe not. But it's good human practice. I fix things because things being broken bothers me. If I can make something work again, especially for someone who really needs it, that matters more than profit." Claire's final report recommended keeping the shop open with Jack as lead mechanic and eventual manager, plus systemic changes to the company's customer service approach. "You're promoting me?" Jack asked on her last day. "You understand something corporate forgets. We're in the business of solving people's problems, not just extracting maximum profit. You build relationships and trust that create long-term value." Claire hesitated. "I also want to thank you for the wheelchair, for treating me like a person instead of a disability, for not making it weird when you found out I was your boss. You're still the person who needed help in the rain. Most people would have suddenly become obsequious. You just stayed yourself." Claire looked thoughtful. "Jack, I'm going to be in this city for 6 months overseeing restructuring. Would you like to have dinner sometime? Not as boss and employee, but as to people who met in the rain. Is that allowed?" I checked with HR. "As long as it's not within your direct reporting structure, it's allowed. But are you interested because you want to know me better, or because you feel obligated?" "I'm interested because I met someone in the rain who I'd like to know better. The boss thing is just a complication we'll navigate." They dated carefully, mindful of workplace politics. Claire was scrupulous about not showing favoritism. Jack never used their relationship for advantage. Outside work, they discovered genuine connection built on mutual respect. "Why do you do this work?" Claire asked over dinner. "You're clearly smart enough to do anything. Because things being broken bothers me, and I'm good at fixing them. I like the honesty of mechanical work. Something's either working or it's not. It's satisfying in ways corporate maneuvering never could be." Jack met her eyes. "Why do you do what you do?" "Because someone has to think systemically about sustainability. I don't enjoy closing shops, but I do enjoy finding ways to make good shops more successful. I like problem solving at scale." Claire's expression grew thoughtful. "But meeting you reminded me that the best solutions are about people, not just processes. You fix broken things, including sometimes people's faith in human decency. That matters more than efficiency metrics." 6 months after fixing a wheelchair in the rain, Jack proposed in the shop garage. He'd arranged tools and parts to spell "Marry Me" on the floor, then fixed her wheelchair's squeaky wheel. "You fixed my wheelchair the day we met, and you've been fixing my perspective ever since. You came into my shop as my boss, and became the person who sees past my job title to who I actually am. You taught me that business can be both profitable and humane, that thinking strategically doesn't mean losing sight of individuals. Will you marry me and let me spend forever fixing whatever breaks while you figure out how to make the whole system better?" Claire said yes while the garage lights buzzed overhead. At their wedding a year later, Jack's vows made everyone cry. "I saw someone struggling with a broken wheelchair and stopped to help because that's what you do. When something's broken and you can fix it." I didn't know she was about to become my boss. Didn't know she'd challenge every assumption I had about success and value. "Claire, you taught me that fixing things isn't just about mechanical problems, but about seeing people clearly, helping without expectation, and believing that being decent matters more than being clever. You could have used your power to create distance. Instead, you navigated the complications with integrity. I promise to keep fixing whatever breaks, to support your career without diminishing my own, and to never forget that the most important thing I ever fixed was a wheelchair in the rain that led me to you." Claire's vows were equally moving. A stranger stopped to fix my broken wheelchair without knowing who I was or expecting anything in return. Then he showed up as my employee, and instead of becoming ingratiating, he just stayed himself, honest, competent, and fundamentally decent. "Jack, you taught me that the best business decisions honor people's humanity, that profit and principle aren't opposites, and that the strongest relationships are built on mutual respect. You could have leveraged our connection for advantage. Instead, you maintained your integrity. I promise to keep thinking systemically while never losing sight of individuals. To use my position to create opportunities rather than extract value. And to never forget that the best evaluation I ever did led me to you. The mechanic who fixed a wheelchair in the rain discovered something more valuable than any promotion. That helping without expectation creates connections. No amount of networking can replicate. That power matters less than principle. And that sometimes the person you help becomes the person who helps you see your own value. He'd stopped to fix a broken wheelchair and found the woman who'd teach him that being decent isn't just good ethics, but the foundation of everything worth building. Whether it's a relationship, a business, or a life that actually matters. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below about a time when a small act of kindness changed everything. Your stories inspire us all.